please have a massive round of applause for Sylvester McCoy.
Hello.
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 Away in the back, hello. You can't see me back there, can you? I am standing up. I know I'm small, but this is ridiculous. Right, fire away.
So, I'll begin with, how was your day? Have you enjoyed the time at the Comic-Con?
Yeah, no, it's been great. People have been really nice. You know, they've come up and said nice things. And there was once, I was at a convention, I was Doctor Who number 7 at the time. There were 7 doctors, and I was the one, and I was the active one then. And this guy came up to me, and he had piles of stuff to sign, and I was signing all this stuff, and he was so excited. He loved Doctor Who. He had a camera in those days. It was a film camera. He was shaking. I thought, oh, he's got a fast film. And he was shaking away, and he said, oh, I love Doctor Who. I think it's brilliant, and you're my 5th favourite Doctor. But none of that's luckily none of that's happened today. I mean, I'd be what, 14th? No, I don't know. How many doctors have we got? 325? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, confused.
So, we both got questions for you today.
All right.
So, you may never know which side is going to ask next.
Okay, well, I've got an ear here and an ear there. So
perfect. And then what we'll do is we'll throw it out to the audience.
Indeed. Right, okay. Have you got a question?
I think Annie said she was going first.
I'll go first then.
You did one?
That's fine.
I'll go first. I'll go first.
I thought you just asked me a question.
I did ask a question first, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, you got me.
Wakey.
I'll go with another one.
Right.
What was it like stepping in the role of the 7th Doctor?
It was great. It was really great. I enjoyed it immensely. I was given a lot of freedom to do what I wanted to do. And the odd thing was that I hadn't seen Doctor Who for years. Patrick Troughton, way back, the 2nd Doctor was my doctor. And then I got a job as an actor. And then, of course, in those days, you could never record it or you couldn't watch it again. It went out, that was it, lost into the ether. So by the time I got it, I was totally ignorant of my doctor and how I was an ignorant doctor doing Doctor. And in fact, that was a blessing in the end, because Andrew Cartmel, the script editor, he was Canadian. He didn't know anything about Doctor Who. So there were 2 of us in charge of Doctor Who, and none of us knew anything about it. So we just made it up as we went along. We made up our Doctor Who, and we turned it from, it was a comedic Doctor into a very serious one.
Wow, thank you very much. I do have a question from my dad, and he personally requested me to ask this.
Aye.
He wanted to talk about your time on Vision On.
Oh yeah, Vision On was my very first TV series, way back. Anyone here old enough, put your hand up who's seen it. It was a wonderful program. It was that lady quietly put her hand up. It was a wonderful program for the hard of hearing and the deaf, and it ran for 12 years. It started off just specializing on that audience, but then spread out to be very visual. And I was in the last 3 years of it. It was a great show. I loved doing it. Bye-bye, nice seeing you. Anyway, call again. It was really, it was good to do. Great. I loved it. I didn't have to learn any lines.
You've played a wide range of characters. Is there any that you hold close to your heart?
Well, the funny thing is, as an actor, you tend to hold you fall in love with the part you're playing at the time, in a way. And I mean, you're not a very kind of loyal lover to the other parts. You leave them behind and forget about them and get on with the next one. Fall in love with that, and then another one comes along. Oh, I'm in love with that. No, and the Doctor Who number 7 says, "What about me? What about me?" I say, "Bugger off." And then you're like, "Did I say that?" Yes, I did. No, it was him. It was Doctor Who said that.
Joe, have you got any questions?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Oh,
all right, well done.
Come on.
I know. Well, you were just going with it, so
I'll ask a
I
few
was
of mine,
enjoying
you
it.
can ask a few of yours.
So, obviously, before TV and that, you did some theatre. You were in an experimental theatre group.
Yes, I was.
Called the Ken Campbell Roadshow.
That's right, yes, and that's where I got my name, because I'm not the real McCoy. I know, my real name is Percy James Patrick Kent Smith. With a name like that, you'd never get a job. It's too expensive to put up on lights in the front of the theatre. So I was playing this character called An Evening with Sylvester McCoy, the Human Bomb. And what I used to do was used to bang a nail up my nose, try and break the world record with a ferret down my trousers. I'd do escapology, and then I'd set light to my head and then explode a bomb in my chest. Go, it's all right, madam. Don't be embarrassed, we're all watching you. So, yeah, and it was a mad show, a really mad, wonderful show. And we were playing in London in a major theatre, the Royal Court, and Ken Campbell, the director, said to me, "Here, McCoy." No, he said, "Here, Ken." That's my real name. I've forgotten who I was there. He said, "Here, Ken, it would be really good if the audience thought you were real, not an actor playing this character." He said, "Could we put this in the programme?" And so we did. Sylvester McCoy left the Noon Grammar School at the age of 14, went to India and studied with gurus. It was all lies. And we put that in the programme. Sylvester McCoy played by Sylvester McCoy, and the name stuck. And I thought, that's a good name. So I kept it. That's how I got the name. But yeah, it was a wonderful show. Well, we were called the Ken Campbell Roadshow. Remember that, the Ken Campbell Roadshow. We got an invite to Israel. And Israel, it was a music festival they had every week. They'd have an orchestra, and a folk singer, or a jazz singer, and a rock band, or two musical things. They invited us, and we were there with touring with Theodorakis, who is one of the great Greek composers. Never on a Sunday, Zorba the Greek, and various other things. Anyway, when we got there, we were playing Tel Aviv that night, and the audience all sat there, and their chins went down to their chests. They were like, because they meant to invite the Glenn Campbell Roadshow, the singer, and they got us, and I was banging nails up my nose and exploding bombs in my chest. I have a horrible feeling that a Palestinian looked over the wall and thought, that's a good idea. Terrible joke. Anyway, and I blew some fire. There was we were in this old ancient place in Jerusalem, and there was this tree. Jesus had sat under this tree. And I blew some fire and I was blowing fire, and I set light to the tree. So there was kind of two burning bushes. There was one in the Bible and one actually, maybe it grew up into a tree. Jesus wasn't pleased.
Oh God.
No, he is. Yes, he is God.
Yeah. So I don't know how to follow up on that question now.
Go on.
So looking at the new era of like Doctor Who. Is there any monsters that you wish that you got to go again?
Yeah, the Weeping Angels. Yeah, because I really thought they were really great, scary things. And I have to stand up for this. I was in Sweden. I was in an English bookshop signing, for stuff, and it was dark. And I came out, and it was very dark, and there was a steeple. And a light shining on an angel on the steeple. And so I came out and I looked up at the steeple and I kept doing this, walking, trying not to, and I walked out into the middle of the road, nearly got run over. So that was a really dangerous one. It was true, they are dangerous.
We've got any questions?
Oh, we're just both broken.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry
We're
about
doing
that.
really well here, aren't we?
Yeah.
So how did you approach developing the unique personality of your Doctor, and how much of you is in the Doctor?
Well, I suppose there's quite a lot of me in the Doctor, really. Every actor, you can't lose yourself completely. And well, when I first arrived, when I got the job, I went and saw the producer, John Nathan Turner, and I was wearing my hat the way that I wore in Doctor Who. And he said, "Oh, I've got to have the hat in Doctor Who." And I said, "Oh, that's good, because I go with the hat." So that's how I got the job. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. Anyway, so the hat was the beginning of the look of my Doctor. And then the jacket, I wanted a jacket with big pockets for paraphernalia, because I thought he'd have lots of paraphernalia. It was the producer's idea that the question mark pullover, which I thought was a bit overstated, but he was the producer, so I wasn't going to argue. And I think his granny knitted them. That's why we had it, really. And then the scarf. The reason why I had the scarf was every time people said to me, even before I became Doctor Who, I used to wear a scarf like that one. And they used to say to me, "Oh, you should be in Doctor Who." That they told the people, my friends and strangers told me that. And that's why I applied for the job. And also I kept the scarf in memory of Tom Baker's scarf. But I don't think Tom Baker realized that he was upstaged by a scarf, because everybody thinks of Doctor Who, they think of this long scarf. So, I mean, you know, Tom Baker must be furious to wake up and realise he was upstaged by a scarf. I was in The Hobbit, you know, and in The Hobbit, they gave, I got this scene, there was this wonderful scene where I was just me and a whole lot of stuffed animals, and a stuffed hedgehog, and there was no, I was going to, boo! Anyway, so they gave me this stuffed hedgehog, and I realised I was going to be in the huge cinemas, 3-dimensional, no other actors on the stage except me and stuffed animals and this stuffed hedgehog. And so I was amazed. And when I went to see the film for the first time, the world premiere, I took my sons, and I was so excited. And my scene was coming up. No one else, just me and a stuffed hedgehog. I don't know if you've seen The Hobbit, but anyway, when it came to it, suddenly the Wizards of Weta, they're the guys that made all the magic stuff work. They created this poor little hedgehog, and the poor thing was dying, and everybody was saying, "Oh, the hedgehog!" They were all looking at. No one was looking at me. I was upstaged by a bloody stuffed hedgehog. I should have killed it, really. I rest my case.
That was actually my next question. What was it like joining The Hobbit and it being such a beloved franchise?
Well, it was actually great, really. It was a wonderful job to do. I had a wonderful time, really, and yeah, it was a joy to do. How I got it was I was touring the world for a year and a half. I was touring the world in King Lear with Ian McKellen, a big tall fella. Ian McKellen is a pain in the neck. They're so tall. I worked with him for a year and a half touring the world, and then 3 years in New Zealand, and I had to do this all the time. God, what a pain in the neck he was. Anyway, if you believe that, it's true. So we were touring the world. We went to New Zealand, and they saw Ian and I in King Lear. I was the fool, and it's kind of a double act, you know. And Peter Jackson thought, yeah, those two work together. So that's how I got the job. So, and it was a delightful job to do. Peter Jackson was very wise, a very wise man. He cast everyone, really nice people. You know, we're all great friends. We love each other because 3 years we worked together and all that. And we see each other and we love each other dearly because we're all great friends. Especially Kate Blanchett. I love her more dearly than anyone. Anyway, so yes. So at the end of The Hobbit, Peter Jackson used to make a little speech when the actor did his last scene, and he'd give him a little present and say nice things about them. And he gave me, you know, the staff that I had in the Hobbit, and the seat with the Radagast written on it, and a bottle of wine from Bilbo Baggins' cellar. And then he said nice things, and then he said at the end, and he turned to the whole, everyone in the studio, huge studio, and went, and also he said, it was really great working with Sylvester McCoy, he said, because I got to work with Doctor Who! 3 years, and he kept it quiet. He was a Doctor Who fan. That's how I got the job as well, I mean, it was a good, he was very wise, because if he said that early on, at the beginning of it, then I would have been, the status would have been different. You know, he would be a fan, and he'd say, "Oh, Sylvester, would you go over there?" And I said, no, Peter, I think I should go over there. But he didn't say anything about that until the end. I rest my case.
So before we let everyone else ask you a question,
yeah,
or whoever else wants to ask you a question. So with such a diverse career like you've had, spanning from obviously stage to television to movie,
opera.
Do you have a favourite?
Well, theatre is the favourite really, because it's with an audience, live audience, and you get the response. I mean, I do love doing film. I mean, theatre is like painting with a broad brush, and you've got to get to the back. You know, you've got to be big. Whereas film, it's like one of those little Japanese brushes. You know, it's kind of, and it's only for a few minutes or a few seconds even. You just do that, and it's something. It becomes internalized. Whereas theatre, you've got to do that. Whereas film, you've got to bring it in because the camera's there. So, but I love doing that. I also, at the moment, next month, I'm day on, all the way through the month, doing audio, audio stuff. So, Big Finish it's called. I'm playing Doctor Who, you might have heard of it, yeah. Anyway, I'm doing him. Right, okay. questions from the outside?
Yeah. Does anyone have a question?
Anyone got a question? Just put your hand up.
Oh. You can stay.
No, you sit.
Oh,
we'll just
okay.
sit.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Looks like we're sitting. I like
hold
this.
on, okay. Yes, here I come.
Oh, wow.
On my way. Right.
Sorry, Kurt.
Sorry, Carl. So, all the characters you played and everything they've done, is there any character or any individual, like, your dream character you'd like to play or a dream part you'd like to play?
Yes, Quasimodo. I'd love to do Quasimodo. Oh, the bells. I mean, and also, he gets top billing, and he only got the 3 lines in the full film. Esmeralda! Ooh! Now, I'd only get that one. That's the only thing they'd pay me for. But anyone else? Oh, it's all over here. Right, okay, coming round. Whoops. Here I am. She's pretty over here.
I'm also a character. If you could do a crossover with your doctor and any of the more modern doctors, which would you choose?
I think Christopher Eccleston. Yeah, I like Christopher's doctor. And I'd be able to say with truth, as far as the UK is concerned, there's a north in every planet. Because I come from Scotland, and you lot are all southerners. There's no north down here. So, yes. Yeah, no, I would. Christopher, yeah, I'd like to do. And also, he's got a head of rate companion.
Did you prefer it when the TARDIS was pink?
No, well, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yes, that was very weird. Funny enough, yesterday I was in London watching that thing on a cinema because they're bringing out the 25th season, and it's in the season. And yeah, so I found it very amusing. I thought it was good fun, really. Yeah, a pink, and it's now become a gay icon kind of thing. People like it. It's great. So that's good. Right. Hello, coming through. Hello.
Do you like playing darker roles?
Darker roles. Yeah, I do. I mean, I think if any actor, if they say you want to play a villain or a goodie, a villain is much more fun. Yeah, I did play a darker role. I've done it a couple of times. I did it the opening of Channel 5. I played a very dark role. It was based on a true story. So it was really weird. I was actually very uncomfortable to play because it was true. Whereas I did another one recently, that was called Beyond Fear. Then the one I did recently, which was called The Owners, and in that, that was much more fun. Because I was a little old man to begin with, he turns into a monster. So that was really nice. Any other hands? Anyone see any hands? Oh, there,
One over here.
Coming through. Move. Right there. Move.
Oh, it was.
Which companion would you like to share a story with? It could be like, similar to the question over there, like, it can be any companion thing.
Rose. Yeah. Rose. Rose. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Anyone else? Question? You put your hand up. Will you change your mind? Don't worry, I'm not frightened. I mean, I don't bite. Except on Sundays. What day is it? Fine. You put ice? Okay. This lady's very sweaty. But are you going to stick the ice down her back? All right, okay. Hey, can you... There we are.
Thank you.
I'll send you my bills later. Thank you. Any more questions?
Any more questions?
Any more? Rick, I'm coming your way.
And I just want to tell you that you're brilliant, is really good.
Thank you. I'll give you the $5 later. You're saying such nice things. Thank you. Hello. Have you got a question? Oh, yeah, you're late. I've got a note. What? Oh, yes, I can see that. You can't argue with that. Anyone else?
Any other questions? You got one in?
There's coming round. Oh, I've never done dinner theatre before.
Did you have a lot of fun
taking part in the 5-ish Doctors.
Yes, it was such fun. It was Peter Davidson's idea to do the 5-ish Doctors. And as coincidence, Paul, McGann, myself, Colin Baker and Peter, we were all in Australia at the beginning of that year, the 50th anniversary year, and we realised we were not going to be in the 50th anniversary show. And so Peter came up with this idea that we should do this film. He did this wonderful thing. He showed me a couple of little films he made for the fans. And the first one was he couldn't come to Los Angeles to a convention in LA. It's an annual one in LA. He couldn't go to it because he got a job in the West End. So he sent a really witty little film using stars of the West End to be in it, to apologise for not being able to go. And that was lovely. The fans loved that when they saw it. The next year, he was invited again. So this time, he made another little film, again apologising that he couldn't make it. But then in the part of the film, he walks past an exhibition of Doctor Who, and there's a TARDIS, and he goes, I wonder. So he entered the TARDIS, and then he came out live in LA to the audience. And I thought that was such a wonderful, joyful, witty thing. The audience would be, just loved it. They went crazy. So they were Doctor Who fans, and Doctor Who fans, as we all know, are crazy. Anyway, so when he showed me that, I thought, right, we'll do this film. And that's how we did it. Really. And I mean, the thing is, I was in The Hobbit, making The Hobbit at the time, so I was flying back, and I used that joke. I mean, it wasn't. To Colin, it wasn't really a joke when I said I'm in The Hobbit, and there was no acting when he got in The Hobbit. He wishes he was in The Hobbit, but anyway, that's why we kept putting that in. So, have you got any more questions?
We have time for one more question if the audience have any.
No.
No, I don't believe so.
All right.
Oh, one more. There we go.
Okay.
Last one.
He spotted someone.
Do you want some ice down your back? Okay.
I don't know what's your favourite joke.
Not Mark. Doctor. Yes! Oh. Not Mark. Where is it? It's a wonderful moment to find the ship. Breathe again, ready, right? Nobody go. Hello, goodbye. So that's it.
We're good.
We are. That's all we've got time for today.
All right, okay.
It has been
Thank you very much
an
for
absolute delight to interview you.
Thank you.
Can we?
Didn't even have to say it.
We're all